Motion.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Winton, supported by Councilman Bazura. Is there any discussion?
Yep.
Councilman Johnson?
Yeah, I received a lot of phone calls on this from the people that live in the Wood Creek, I think, right next to it. And I came to the planning meeting, I asked them to postpone it one time. So, because these people are concerned that they don't get to express their opinion in person. You know, a lot of older senior citizens, you know, I told them they could email, they could call, but they want to come up here to express their opinion. And they said, no, we're going to approve it, and they sent it to us. So I'm asking us if we can postpone it.
So are you making a motion to postpone? Okay.
Make a motion to postpone,
Then you have to rescind your motion, correct?
if they agree.
Yeah. Councilwoman Winton made the motion. Are you okay with rescinding your motion and then we make a motion?
Did we receive any comments, or has anybody, they're only going to comment if they can comment in person?
I received a couple emails like a couple weeks ago or something regarding trees and what is the Coach Light? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
Coach Light.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I know that I think on the floor right now is a motion to approve. I don't believe the postponement has gone through. While we're in that stage, can I ask Laura to come up and maybe give a little bit of background? Is Laura here? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Because I believe the developer is also here, and before we go into a postponement, maybe we can take advantage of their time, give you a little background, and then if you decide to postpone, that's fine, but we can rescind it at that point in time if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening. Through the chair, this rezoning is tied to a proposed senior assisted living development. As it was stated, located on the northwest corner of Superior and Pardee on 6.14 acres. It's designed as assisted living for 75 years of age and older. If they're proposing a 72-unit, one-story assisted living facility. You were asking about some of the comments. We did get a lot of objections from the Coach Light. We heard a total of 7 before the meeting, and I believe more have come in. Basically the same thing about removal of trees affecting their view, stop the development, they don't want it there, they're worried about their screening and their buffering, increased traffic in the area, which is why we had the applicant prepare a traffic statement that was submitted. They also requested to postpone the meeting until they could attend in person. This is not a city project. The developer is purchasing the property, and you have the site plan before you. And it was sent to the zoning consultant, McKenna Associates. There are 7 criteria for rezoning a property, and according to our ordinance and the planning consultant, it meets all 7 of the requirements for rezoning. They're proposing 17, it's kind of a unique development. They're proposing memory care units, assisted living units, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom. It's congregate housing. In other words, they're not individual apartment building, individual apartments for each. They're going to have, rooms to go in. They've provided various amenities outside and inside for the residents. And if you like, I can have the developer come up and further answer any questions you have on the development.
Through the chair, I have a question for Ms. Fell.
Sure.
The current zoning right now is O2, which means, something else could go in there that is office related. I think when we spoke, you said.
Through the chair, through the current zoning is regional office, which would permit a 5-story building up to 65 feet in height to go on the same site. And that would not require even coming to council for a rezoning. They could develop that.
Could you tell me what kind of buffer we're putting between them and the development?
Through negotiation, they have agreed, and it's stated on their site plan, to leave some of the existing larger trees along the northern property line, but there is going to be a 6-foot high wall per the ordinance standards put up there. They have eliminated, they did have a drive going along the north side of the property line. They've eliminated that and worked with the fire department on getting a certain type of sod the fire trucks can drive on to get around there, so there wouldn't be any traffic going in and out that side that's adjacent to the Coach Lake people.
Is that fence right on the property line?
Yes.
Do we have any idea how close that fence is to people's,
You mean the wall?
the wall?
No, I would have to, I can look that up and get that information for you, but
So there's gonna
it's
be a
required
wall
to
and a
go
fence?
on the, it's not a fence, it's a wall.
Okay.
It's a masonry wall that matches the brick on the building. And then there also a 4-foot high berm at the west side of the development.
Just to be clear, I don't have a problem with the project. My only objection was, you know, they've asked me to ask to be postponed.
I
A lot
understand.
of people calling, you know, 65-foot building, that's facing south, you know, they're not gonna get any sun if that goes in there,
Right.
you know.
Right, that's why we look for the most compatible developments,
And I
and we
understand
try to work with them, and we've been working with this developer since approximately January, and we've went over 4 or 5 plan revisions to kind of get to where we are on you know, with consideration to the residents to the north, because I know it's a big concern. And they are gonna install public sidewalks along Part E. And if, like I said, if you like, I can have them come up and explain any further questions that I can
I have a
answer.
question. Yeah, I like the project. The project looks like an excellent project, but I think that as an elected officials, you have to place ourselves in a position that when people call us and ask us to do things, and let at least them come up here, whether it be frustrations or the glory of it happening, when we start taking that away from people, they get very upset, and they should have a right to come up here. Now, I don't know what the plans or how fast things are moving, but again, surely with everybody sitting in here right now, surely we can find a way, if we had to schedule a meeting, the next meeting, and let the people come in here one at a time and speak. To me, is it worth doing that? And for me it is, because it gives people a chance to speak out and say what they want to say.
Through the chair, that's totally understandable. I do understand that, but as I stated before, it's not a city project. The developer submitted his application, he's paid his fees, he's going through the proper steps, and we have been working with him, and I honestly, my opinion, I don't think it'd be prudent to hold them up any further. I mean, they've already been tabled at Planning Commission once.
I think one of the things too is that, you know, I'm all for them voicing their opinions, but by them emailing us with their concerns and their complaints, I haven't received any since the Planning Commission. That's when I got them, before the Planning Commission. And it was about tree removal. It was about traffic, worried about traffic. And, you know, basically it was gonna affect their backyard view, you know. But I think anybody knows that when you buy a piece of property and there's nothing developed behind there, it doesn't mean that it's never gonna be developed. You know, and I can understand your frustrations and your concerns, but in the same sense, we're in a city, you know, and places are being developed, and it may, you know, change your sight line a little bit, but, you know, I can't say I'm in love with these type of projects, but in the same sense, I don't want a 60-foot building, you know, but I gotta be cautious because I can't really let my opinions get into the law, you know, of zoning issues and stuff, so.
And through the chair, the planning department hasn't received any other emails or complaints from the residents. And as I stated before, the ones we did receive were the same, seemed to be the same complaints.
Councilman Johnson?
So this is the first reading, we should have a second reading?
I believe so.
Is it
Yes,
possible we can make special consideration for people to come in? Or,
Well, I
right
mean,
now, people, start calling Laura.
Mr. Chairman,
Call Tim, email Tim,
Councilman
email
Lazar.
Dan.
yeah, you can email me. I think that would be a good compromise. I think we're not gonna hold up the development. There has to be a second reading. Can I ask what the current policy is? If somebody wants to make an appointment to come into City Hall 9 to 5, they can do that, correct?
Yeah, because just real quick, one of the reasons, people of course have blamed me, which is fine, but I don't feel comfortable opening up City Hall until City Hall is officially open. That's always been my concern. I don't have a problem as long as we have something in place where people can come in one at a time. I can ask Guido to maybe set some chairs out in the atrium and stuff like that, but Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'm okay with them blaming you. It's better you than me, so. No, with all due respect, yes, we are setting up appointments. So residents that want to come in and view the plans or they want to discuss the project, they can. I believe that most of the comments that Laura has heard, I think they've all been addressed. If council wants to delay the second reading, at this point, we're anticipating reopening City Hall August 1st. So that would mean we will likely have our first live council meeting on that first Tuesday in August. But with that being said, it's still going to be a controlled environment. We're still going to have, it won't be, the ability to just, have a full crowd here. It'll be a little different, but, we can certainly, accommodate.
And I don't want